Akron, Ohio, the birthplace of Alcoholics Anonymous. Many of the historical landmarks still remain. The Mayflower Hotel is where Bill W. stayed when he first came to Akron on business. When his big deal fell through, this was the lobby where he was tempted to take a drink in the nearby cocktail lounge, and desperately made calls to find another drunk with whom to commiserate. Reverend Walter Tunks put Bill in touch with Henrietta Seiberling, a fellow Oxford group member. The Gate Lodge of Stan Hewitt Hall, then the residence of Henrietta Seiberling, is where Bill W. first met with Dr. Bob on Mother's Day of 1935. Dr. Bob's home on Ardmore Avenue. On June 10th of that year, Dr. Bob took his last drink. Bill W. stayed with him and his wife, Ann, in their home for months during that period to ensure that Dr. Bob stayed sober. Many of the first meetings took place in this house, even before it came to be called Alcoholics Anonymous. Ignatia Hall at St. Thomas Hospital, the very first hospital ward devoted solely to alcoholics, was the result of collaboration between Dr. Bob and Sister Ignatia. The personal stories of the co-founders are documented in the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous. Sooner or later, every AA member will read or hear the story of Dr. Bob's nightmare, and they will learn that AA's founding dates to Dr. Bob's first day of permanent sobriety on June 10, 1935. Each June, thousands of recovering alcoholics from around the globe make the trek to Akron to celebrate Founders Day. Among the annual activities, the Sunday morning motorcade to Dr. Bob's grave has become an important tradition. Looking east towards Akron's modest skyline, a procession of motorcycles in the hundreds can be seen making their way down Market Street towards Aqueduct Street. Here we see the motorcade as it flows into Mount Peace Cemetery for a graveside memorial tribute to Dr. Bob and his wife Annie.
God, grant me your serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Guest speakers express their heartfelt gratitude.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Paul, and I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic.
I would like to think that I'm a strong enough man that in 1935, being a physician in this little bitty community, that I would have had the courage to stand up and say I'm an alcoholic. But I know in my heart I wouldn't have. I just wouldn't. And I try to imagine the courage that this man must have had to be able to do that. And I have an amazing amount of gratitude for this man.
There is a long-standing tradition of leaving sobriety coins on top of Dr. Bob's gravestone as a way of paying tribute. Long after the masses have dispersed, small groupings trickle into the cemetery to pray and pay homage to Bob and Ann Smith for saving their lives. Groups of people, like this one, come to Akron and visit Dr. Bob's grave year-round, and they probably always will. Robert Holbrook Smith passed away on November 16, 1950. The manner in which he was put to rest speaks volumes about the way he lived. By 1950, AA membership was approaching 100,000, and there were around 3,500 groups worldwide. For the co-founder of such a far-reaching organization, one might expect great fanfare, perhaps a monument to recognize Dr. Bob's great contribution to the establishment and growth of AA. There was no such pomp, just a simple headstone that he shared with his wife, Ann Ripley Smith. This final decision is a testament to his deep sense of humility and his belief in the spiritual foundation of anonymity. May he rest in peace.